Good day everybody, welcome to Desert Survival. Today I wanted to talk to you about a question I got asked in the comments on my channel. That is, how do people stay dry and warm? Well, this is frost and so it's kind of like real life, and it's pretty typical for this time of year. But the number one rule for keeping dry and warm is to obviously stay dry, no matter what. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. But you've got other things you can do. You can start a fire. And the person in the comments did talk about a Dakota fire. And if you're wondering what a Dakota fire is, you have a big hole over here. So say this is the big hole. I get in this, and let's say over here you have a bigger hole. So yeah, so big hole, small hole, sorry, and connected underneath but via a tunnel, and the big hole lets in the air, while the small hole would suck up the air from underneath, because it's creating a low pressure, and they're both connected by a tunnel, and that's what a Dakota fire is. And I've actually built one of those in the past because I had to keep down the smoke, because I was accidentally on private land and I didn't know about it, and I had to anyway, I'm not going to get into that because it was a long time ago. But you got other things, you know, you can start a fire, which obviously creates heat. Yeah, but this is an important thing and nobody ever talks about this. I'm on my last reserve now of dry stuff, and if you look over here, the grass here is actually wet. I mean, it's not quite wet, but you know, it makes starting a fire a little bit challenging compared to the dry stuff. So if you can keep dry stuff, that is absolutely great. And that's why it's so spread around, because I've got drying over here, I've got wet over there, and so that's why it's just spread around, and I'm gonna be cleaning that up later. If you look, if I just go over to the tent, on the same notion of keeping things dry, we just had some severe storms, and if you notice, the actual tent itself has a tarp. That's the grey one. The blue one is another tarp. The green one is a tarp. Actually covers the tent, but and then I got a sleeping bag and a sleeping bag, and then I sleep in the sleeping bag and I cover up with a blanket. That's how I keep myself warm and dry when I'm in the actual tent. And you're probably wondering what all these boxes are for, by the way, and that is to support the tent while it is extremely windy. So I don't, you know, because I know that, you know, you're probably thinking, well, tents should be able to keep, you know, tents should be able to cope with the high amounts of winds and everything. Well, you know, after a while the tent poles weaken. It doesn't matter if they're aluminum or fiberglass, they just weaken because they're always moving, you know, like this, and being stressed. So, you know, that's the other thing, is to, you know, to actually help the tent out by supporting it. So because, you know, you don't want your shelter breaking, because, you know, in a storm that could be lethal, especially at this time of year, you know, because, you know, everything gets soaked, and then what? You've got no way of drying stuff out, and you're gonna freeze until you probably die. I mean, I know around here it doesn't look like there's a lot of moisture, but the temperatures in the desert drop like you wouldn't believe. Anyway, so that's it. Have a fire, keep dry, put on warm clothes, obviously, You know, and just keep the water out like the plague. Treat water like the plague. I can't emphasize that enough. Anyway, that's enough, and bye.